Yeah, I was ready, they didn't have my back. They was petty, I stayed in my bed. On that petty, I brought it right back. Machiavelli.
Oh yeah, by the title, you guys, this one's gonna be a great one. This is gonna be a good spicy show, so make sure you watch it all the way through. My beautiful patriots, my brothers and sisters, beautiful people around the world, I hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life, that you are getting through the week, that you had an amazing April, that 2024 is treating you well. I encourage you all to spread the love, man. You never know what people are going through, especially in today's time, man. It's very corrupt, sick, disgusting on what's going on. People are struggling at an all-time high. PTSD, anxiety, depression, suicide rates are at an all-time high, you guys. So I encourage you to spread the love. Check up on your loved ones. Hug them. Text them. Call them. But boy, oh boy. I hope y'all are ready, man, because we're going to be cracking open a cold one in November, Patriots. Matter of fact, give me 2 out the cooler. Oh, man. But shout out to Julie for this, another video coming from Black Conservative Down. So the link will be in the description box down below, you guys. And thank you, Julie, for all the love that you show for quite a long time now. You've been supporting me since the music reactions on the channel, and we still do music reactions and stuff like that. I know you guys have been requesting that. People are still messaging me, sending me stuff, sending me kind donations to react to music and all kind of other stuff. So music reactions are still on the channel, you guys. I know that y'all been asking me that, but man, let's jump straight in, y'all.
Of course, the 2024 election is in full swing. And yes, age is an issue. I'm a grown man running.
How grown are you, Joe? My bad. I didn't mean to, my bad, y'all. Let me stop.
Age is an issue. I'm a grown man running against a 6-year-old. Well, I feel great. I really feel great. I'm campaigning all over the country. Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina. I've always done well in the original 13 colonies. And speaking of history, did you hear what Donald just said about the major Civil War battle? Quote, Gettysburg, wow. Trump's speech was so embarrassing, the statue of Robert E. Lee surrendered again. But look, age is the only thing we have in common. My vice president actually endorses me.
And y'all stop saying I laugh like her. Please, I don't know what I'm doing. I do not want to see no more comments like that. That is a disgrace.
I had a great stretch since the State of the Union, but Donald has had a few tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather.
Anybody got a tomato? Does anybody have a big tomato? I mean, fresh out the garden.
What the?
I mean, tell y'all, man. He see what the people waking up. He see the polls, man. He see what people are talking about. He see what's going on. We see that Trump is actually, it's everything's reversing and coming back to bite. We're gonna be cracking open a cold in November, y'all. Everybody can laugh and giggle, ha ha ha. But people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. The world has gone to complete a shit show.
What the hell? Trump's so desperate he started reading those Bibles he's selling. Then he got to the first commandment. You shall have no other gods before me. That's when he put it down and said, this book's not for me.
Meanwhile,
boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, things are not looking great for Joe Biden, okay, the president of the United States that is experiencing a massive backlash from his progressive wing of the Democrat Party, and it is coming at the worst time possible, okay? As time continues to pass, it seems like the revolt against Joe Biden is just getting larger and larger and larger. I mean, it's at the point that no matter what the Democrats and Joe Biden do, there's always a group of protesters showing up telling him and the Democrats, F you, we don't like you. And that is what happened outside of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where, you know, of course, Joe Biden and the mainstream liberal media, they just spend a night making fun of Trump. Yeah, so I can't tell you guys how much it really does bring me joy to see the Democrats face the consequences of the monster they created in 2020 with the BLM riots. Again, they used the radical left-wing protesters as a means to try to go after Republicans, okay? It was all good to them, despite the fact that these people were committing acts of violence. They were protesting every single day in the street. And it clearly was an issue that should have been addressed. But no, Democrats supported it because they used it against Trump. Now, the monster that they created is being used against them in 2024. Again, I find it to be absolutely hilarious. This is another example of what I tell you guys about how the pendulum always swings the other way in politics. You should be careful what you support today because it can be used against you tomorrow. And that's what's happening to the Democrats after years of supporting political violence in this country, including BLM, the Roe v. Wade rioters, the Antifa rioters, and now you have the pro-Palestine rioters that are causing the Democrats issues and problems, and probably going to be the reason why Joe Biden loses this November. Now, speaking of Joe Biden losing in November, it looks more and more likely like that's going to happen with each new poll that comes out. Okay, I know we talk about polls quite a bit, but it is important to gauge where the American people are, and who knows if the polls are actually accurate. But I do know that polls like the one we're going to talk about here today from CNN is going to send the mainstream liberal media into a panic because Trump
shambles. And y'all know we covered this yesterday. We covered it yesterday. We played the clip yesterday. You know, had a whole conversation on it on the show. If you watched yesterday's video,
is absolutely destroying Joe Biden in this new CNN poll. And like I told you guys before, although the polls were tightening, okay, recently, I predicted that Trump would break out, okay, that you would see Trump break out and just take an outright lead over Joe Biden in a vast majority of polls, which, I mean, he kind of already is. But again, the polls have been tightening lately. And then lo and behold, we have this poll from CNN that has Trump up 6 points, 6 whole points over Joe Biden. So again, this is devastating, absolutely devastating for Joe Biden. And while he's laughing at Trump and making fun of him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner with the mainstream liberal media, there's not really much for him to laugh at when it comes to these polls, because it looks like if the election was held today, this guy is losing. Okay, I'm so serious.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's react to this.
Good morning. Welcome to Inside Politics Sunday. I'm Manu Raju, and we begin with breaking news. A new CNN national poll released for the first time here on Inside Politics Sunday reveals the challenges President Biden faces as he asks voters for a second term, even as former President Trump has been stuck in a New York courtroom fending off criminal charges and with 3 other criminal cases looming. Our new poll, which was conducted by SSRS, finds Trump is leading Biden, who has ample work to do with his base and with independent voters who are breaking to his GOP rival. In a head-to-head race, 49% of voters say they'd pick Trump for president, compared to 43% for Biden.
I want you guys to understand how devastating this is, right? Because I've told you guys this before. Republicans don't necessarily need the popular vote in order to win because of the way the electoral college is set up. Typically, if a Republican can get 48, 49%, then he has a shot of winning, right? He can still win. However, if a Republican outright wins the popular vote, there's a 100% chance that they're going to win the election. Now, Democrats need to win the popular vote in order to actually win. Republicans don't, okay? And that's the difference. So when you have somebody like Trump that's just outright destroying Biden in the popular vote, that is a devastating, absolutely devastating sign for Joe Biden, okay? And that's what Democrats really should worry about the most. And it's not just showing up in these national polls. When you look at these swing state polls, the polls that actually really matter more so than the national polls, Trump is dominating Biden across the board.
We talked about it.
So not only is Trump winning at the national level, he's also winning at the state level in the swing states that matter. Again, it's just, it's really bad for Joe Biden at this point. Again, Trump has never been this popular. Okay, even in 2016, he wasn't this popular, right? In 2020, he wasn't this popular.
And we wonder what made him even more popular. Or what's going on as we speak of right now. So many people have awakened. You know? So many people have, decided to switch positions. Change lanes. That's what we're going to say. Change lanes. And some of y'all didn't even put a signal on. You just changed lanes. Hell, you probably cut somebody off. We're going to call it as we see it, man. No sugarcoating, baby.
And it's just so funny how Trump has gained the most popularity that he's ever gotten after all of the smearing from the mainstream liberal media, the Trump derangement from the mainstream liberal media. Trump is now more popular than he's ever been, and I'm going to tell you guys why that is here in a few minutes.
It's a 9-point Trump advantage with independent voters. And add in third-party candidates, and Trump's lead jumps even more. He has 42% to Biden's 33%, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. gets 16% of the vote.
Yeah, again, more devastating news, okay? Because there was a poll that came out recently that had Trump beating Biden, but then when you threw Kennedy in the mix, Trump lost, right? And the mainstream media tried to make a big deal out of it and say, oh, well, this is an example of how RFK is taking away votes from Trump. But you got to understand, first and foremost, that's an outlier, okay? Second of all, it's not just going to be RFK. You also have Cornel West, who's a far left progressive, and Jill Stein, who's a far left progressive, okay? And again, with a lot of these pro-Palestinian protesters out here saying they're not going to vote for Joe Biden, hey, Cornel West and Jill Stein, they're good options, okay? They are options for the far left, right? So they actually have people on the ballot they can vote for that align with their priorities, which again, by the way, I don't agree with their priorities in the sense that I think it's a damn shame that our elections are basically going to be decided by a foreign conflict. I think it is silly, okay? None of these people are looking at it from an America First perspective, and I think that's what makes it even more frustrating. But regardless, the realistic dynamics of the race is not going to be Trump versus Biden. It's not going to be Trump versus Biden versus Kennedy. It's going to be Trump versus Biden versus Kennedy versus Cornel West versus Jill Stein. And if that's the case, you have four people on the left side of the aisle versus Trump. There's no way, there's no scenario that Trump loses. He can't lose if this is the dynamics of the race. If this is the slate of candidates, Trump can't lose. Right? This is why you see Trump up 9. Okay, when you throw RFK in a race, when you throw Cornel West in a race, when you throw Jill Stein in a race, now Trump lead increases even more. Again, why is that? It's because you have a bunch of leftists versus Trump. And out of all these people, Trump has the strongest base. Trump has the largest and strongest base of support. This is why Biden's biggest weakness is not just the fact that the economy is terrible, okay, and that the country is a shithole under Joe Biden. It's not just that. It's also the fact that Joe Biden doesn't have a base. Joe Biden did not run in 2020 based off, okay, I'm a great guy, right? Vote for me because I'm great. No, he ran based off, well, vote for me because Orange Man bad, Orange Man terrible. He's the cause of all our problems, okay? He's the reason why everybody's dying during the pandemic, okay? This is the argument that they were making. They blamed everything on Trump. Now, lo and behold, that has come back to haunt Joe Biden because, again, he didn't get anybody excited to vote for him. He doesn't have a fan base, right? He doesn't have a core group of supporters, but Trump does. And this is why, again, when you see the race split up like this, Trump is holding his own while Biden is losing a lot of support because his support was not strong in the first place. So, I mean, it's pretty fascinating to see the breakdown of this stuff.
Our poll also underscores the challenges of incumbency and that voters, 4 years later, have a better view of Trump's presidency compared to Biden's. 55% say Trump's time in office was a success, with only 39% saying the same about Biden's presidency. And look at party breakdown, more people are calling Trump's presidency a success now than in January of 2021. And that was in the wake of the Capitol attack by a mob of Trump supporters.
Now, again, I want you guys to understand how devastating this is, especially this one right here. In January 2021, again, this is in the wake of January 6th, Democrats, 3% of them thought that Trump's presidency was a success. Now, fast forward 3 or 4 years later, you have 24% of Democrats, almost a quarter of Democrats, that think that Trump's presidency was a success. That's the reason why Trump is more popular than he's ever been. That's the reason. That, along with, again, independent, more of them think that Trump's presidency was a success. And then you also have Republicans, of course. More Republicans think that Trump's presidency was a success. That's the difference, guys. The difference is that, unfortunately, it took a disastrous presidency like Joe Biden's in order for people to realize, oh, Trump wasn't that bad, right? Trump's presidency was actually pretty damn good. Even Democrats are saying, damn, Trump's time in the White House was not that bad. I actually could afford to buy a house. I could afford to buy groceries.
I can actually go inside the stove. I can wake up with a smile on my face. You know, tell my kids everything is going to be all right. We're going to get ice cream today. We can go bowling today. Then on the weekend, we can crack open some cold ones, invite the family over, and barbecue. Tom used to be good, huh?
Okay, I could afford to get a loan to start a business. Okay, the border wasn't wide open. Crime wasn't out of control.
Wide open.
We weren't involved in all these foreign wars and conflicts. Wow. Trump wasn't that bad. It's almost as if the mainstream liberal media lied to me. Right? They lied to the American people about how all of America's problems are Trump's fault. Right? You just need to get him out of office and everything will be rainbow and roses. Turns out the opposite of that happened. And it happened almost immediately, right? As soon as Trump left office, America fell off a cliff, right? So it's just amazing to me how it takes having to experience bad policy for people to realize that, hey, this is bad policy, right? I shouldn't have to experience open borders or out of control crime or the government spending too much money for me to realize that, hey, these policies are bad. This is a bad idea. We shouldn't be endorsing this stuff. But unfortunately, you know, that is the country that we live in, right? There are people who don't realize that policies are bad until they experience those policies. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, this is bad, right? This is bad.
The number of independents there going up by 7%. Now, Biden's team believes the numbers will change when voters begin to zero in more on the two candidates. A contrast he was more than eager to highlight at last night's White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Donald has had a few tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather. What the hell? Trump's so desperate he started reading those Bibles he's selling. Then he got to the first commandment. You shall have no other gods before me. That's when he put it down and said, this book's not for me.
Yeah, so again, hey, Biden is kiki and ha-ha and with the liberal media at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. But when you look at these polls, ain't nothing to laugh at, right? I think, honestly, Trump is going to get the last laugh come November, and I think that's actually what really matters. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure.
And we're going to crack open a cold one in November. I love you guys, man. Y'all spread the love. I'm wishing nothing but the best in all you guys' life, man. You never know what somebody's going through. For real, we're living in some crazy times, man. I encourage you to spread the love, lift people up, care, be kind. We're living in some crazy, sick times, y'all. I love you guys, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Make sure y'all comment down below what you think. And remember, we're gonna crack open a cold one in November. I need me. Matter of fact, pass me two. Jimbo, pass me two, baby. We're gonna ride. The truck we're riding that truck, man. That truck got a check engine light on. We on the interstate, wide open. Knowing the transmission on his last leg, baby. We gonna get the last laugh, man. I love y'all. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.